tea. Hey guys, my name is Miranda and happy Monday. Today I'm going to be doing the book sacrifice tag, and I will actually link the creator of this book tag down below so you can go and check her channel out. So I feel like I hardly ever talk about the books that I don't like on this channel, and not books that I just necessarily don't like, but books that I just didn't enjoy as much as I thought I would. So I figured, why not sacrifice some of these books, you know what I mean? Or you don't know what I mean, because honestly I don't think I could ever actually sacrifice a book in real life. So this tag actually consists of 4 scenarios in which you would end up sacrificing a book in some kind of way. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Scenario number 1 is the zombie apocalypse. You're just minding your own business when all of a sudden the zombie apocalypse starts and zombies are running around crazy everywhere. You are just trying to survive when you actually get cornered by a horde of zombies, and the only way to fend them off is to throw an overhyped book at their face. Which overhyped book would you sacrifice? So I feel like this is a really hard one because I don't ever read hyped books unless I truly think that I'm gonna enjoy them. And that being said, I usually do end up enjoying them because I take so many precautions. So that's why this question's a little hard for me to answer. But I do have an answer. I do have a book that I would sacrifice. Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Now, before you attack me with the pitchforks and the torches, let me explain myself here. I'm not saying that The Fault in Our Stars is a bad book because I actually really enjoyed it. I just don't think that it lived up to what I really expected. I did read it a couple years ago, so maybe if I did read it again, I would like it more, but I don't know. As of now, I just don't think it lived up to what everybody said it was. Scenario number 2 is where you get your hair did and you're looking fabulous when all of a sudden you walk outside and it starts pouring rain and you need to use a book as an umbrella. Which sequel would you sacrifice? I was thinking about this, and at first I wanted to talk about a book that I genuinely don't like, but I actually think I want to put a twist on this and talk about a sequel to a series I actually really did enjoy. So don't be mad at me because I do enjoy this series, I just did not enjoy the sequel. And that is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. For those of you who don't know, City of Ashes is the 2nd book in the Mortal Instruments series. If you want to see my Mortal Instruments video, I'm gonna link that down below for y'all because I explained the whole entire premise of these books and what each book is about and things like that. But anyways, so I have a lot of unpopular opinions when it comes to the Mortal Instruments realm. Actually, this might surprise some people, but the 1st and the 2nd book to this series were actually my least favorite books in the entire series. The last book is my absolute favorite, so this series does go up from here, but I just didn't like this book. City of Ashes just wasn't a very good 2nd book for me. So I don't know, I just didn't appreciate this book as much as I appreciated the other books in the series. The 3rd scenario, which is actually my favorite scenario in this whole tag, is you are sitting in English class and your professor is talking about one of his or her favorite classics in the world, and it is a classic that everybody else seems to totally love and enjoy, but you actually despise. So in a rage, you end up chucking the book across the room. Which classic would you sacrifice? For those of you who are new to my channel, let me just say, I am a classic junkie. I actually love classic books. Before this past summer, I actually never touched any classics ever. But then summer came along and I told myself that I would only touch classic books for those 2 months. June and July came around and I only read classics, and it actually ended up changing my whole entire opinion on classics, so now it's one of my favorite genres. But of course there is a classic that I actually despise, and I actually had to read it for class. But the classic that I just don't like at all would be 1984 by George Orwell. So I actually don't own this book anymore, and I would say that I deliberately got rid of it, but that wouldn't be true because I genuinely don't know what happened to my copy. It's somewhere in the house, I don't know. But I just don't like this book. I don't know why. I barely remember anything about it anyways. I read it in freshman or sophomore year, and I totally hated every single page of it. And what's so difficult for me when it comes to 1984 is like George Orwell is an incredible author. I actually adored his book Animal Farm. I also had to read that for school, but I ended up really liking that one. But 1984, even though it has so much incredible and developed world building, I just didn't relate to the characters at all. I didn't like the plot at all. The main character in 1984 is my biggest issue. I don't think he made any good decisions ever throughout the whole entire book. He literally made so many poor choices throughout the whole entire duration of the novel. I just didn't enjoy it. I did not like reading about a man's choices and abilities to defy his government. Like, I don't know. I can see why a lot of people really appreciate the book because it really did focus on the aspect of a futuristic society and how the government could take over everything and it could watch everything and Big Brother is watching, and like, so I can see why people enjoy that, but for me it just wasn't for me, and I would never ever read it ever again. And the fourth and final scenario is where the world completely freezes over and you have to burn a book to provide warmth. Which book would you sacrifice? This is a difficult situation for me again because I don't think I would ever be able to burn a book actually, but I think I'm okay with my answer. So, The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I read this book this year and I have to say it's probably my least favorite book of 2018, and I very much doubt that it will change from that position. This is a novel that focuses in on our main autistic character named Christopher as he discovers how his neighbor's dog got murdered and he wants to find who committed the crime. So there's some things in this book that I just don't understand at all. For some reason, a lot of people like to read this book to their young children, but please don't read it to your young children. This book has so many cuss words, like, and the way that the other characters treat Christopher, I just don't understand. I feel like everybody in this book, everyone was portrayed as evil. As I was reading it, I literally was like, oh wow, does Mark Haddon think that there is no hope for humanity? There was nothing in this book that made me glad that I was reading it. Like, I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just really don't like The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It just wasn't for me. Alright guys, that will be it for this video. Please comment down below what books you would sacrifice in these scenarios if you could choose books to sacrifice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. Please be safe, make good choices, and I will see you next Monday.